Yasmine Bleeth belongs to a time when television stars felt unforgettable, when fame carried a sense of distance and fascination rather than nonstop exposure. That's why, whenever older photos or daring fashion moments reappear online, especially ones framed with dramatic labels suggesting extremely revealing outfits, the internet reacts as if something scandalous has just been uncovered. In reality, nothing has been discovered at all. What's happening is a familiar digital routine. An image is pulled from the past, paired with exaggerated wording, and released again to spark reactions. This discussion isn't really about clothing. It's about context, control, and how viral culture often turns people into talking points. Stay with me until the end, because the lesson here applies far beyond one celebrity. The first thing we need to understand is how easily meaning can be manipulated online. A photograph by itself is neutral. It's simply a captured moment. But once it's shared with suggestive language or a tone meant to provoke, it becomes something else entirely. The focus shifts away from the individual and onto selective details chosen to generate attention. That isn't admiration or curiosity, it's pressure. Fashion choices can reflect trends, artistic expression, or the cultural norms of a particular era. Yet on social media, those layers are erased in favor of shock value. Certain phrases are designed to mislead without making clear claims. They imply controversy while avoiding responsibility. That's why they spread so quickly. They encourage people to stare, judge, and speculate while forgetting that the person in the image is real. Behind every photo is someone with emotions, limits, and a life that extends far beyond what a screen can show. There's also a broader pattern worth acknowledging. For years, bold fashion was actively encouraged by the entertainment industry. It sold magazines, boosted ratings, and shaped public expectations. Then tastes shifted, and suddenly those same looks were reframed as inappropriate or embarrassing. That contradiction places women in an impossible position. Dress modestly and risk being ignored. Dress boldly and risk being criticized. Either way, the narrative is no longer in their control. Photos themselves are unreliable storytellers. A single image captures less than a second of time. It doesn't explain what led up to the moment or what followed it. It doesn't show how the person felt or what conversations happened behind the scenes. Yet online culture often treats photos as complete stories. When the same image is reposted repeatedly, familiarity creates the illusion of truth, even when context is missing. Consent is another critical factor that often gets ignored. There's a clear difference between images released intentionally as part of professional work and images reused years later without care or respect. Choosing how you present yourself once does not mean surrendering control forever. Visibility does not cancel personal boundaries, and curiosity does not grant ownership. So why do these stories keep resurfacing? The answer is simple: engagement. Social platforms reward content that triggers strong reactions. Dramatic framing leads to arguments, shares, and clicks. Even when nothing controversial is happening, exaggerated language creates the illusion of importance. In that process, the individual becomes a tool for algorithms rather than a person with a history and dignity. There is a better way to engage with this content. Instead of reacting instantly, pause and ask a few questions. Why is this image being shared now? Who benefits from this framing? Is the goal appreciation, or is it provocation? That moment of reflection changes everything. It turns passive scrolling into conscious thinking. If you value conversations that prioritize understanding over outrage and respect over spectacle, support that approach. Like, subscribe, and comment respect. It signals a demand for smarter discussions, ones that treat people as human beings, not headlines, and helps push more thoughtful content forward.